Moonlight sliced through my Silicon Valley mansion's windows, casting jagged shadows like thorns across the oak floor. I awoke, heart hammering, limbs heavy as river stones. My body betrayed me. Locked in a silent scream, poison, I realized, seeping through my veins. The air felt thick, charged with betrayal. Then, a whisper broke the stillness. Leo, my best friend's 5-year-old son. His voice a fragile leaf trembling in the dark. Uncle Ethan, the bad sleepy medicine. Aunt Seraphina slipped it in your juice. My mind spun, a storm of questions, but I forced my eyes shut, feigning oblivion. Seraphina, my fiancée, stood nearby, her silhouette a hawk circling prey, unaware I was awake. Every nerve urged action, yet I lay still, plotting escape beneath the weight of her gaze. The redwoods outside whispered resilience, urging me to endure. My empire, Zenith Innovations, teetered on this moment. Who else knew? Was Leo safe? The poison dulled my senses, but my will burned like a distant star. I didn't know then how deep this trap ran, how the roots of deceit twisted beneath the surface of everything I'd built. The room pulsed with menace, a sterile cage of glass and steel. My breath slowed, mimicking sleep, while my mind raced like wildfire through dry grass. Leo's warning echoed, a child's truth cutting through the fog of betrayal. Seraphina's perfume lingered, once comforting, now a venomous cloud. I recalled her smile at dinner, her hand brushing mine as she poured the juice. How had I missed the frost in her eyes? The mansion, my sanctuary, felt like a labyrinth of lies, its smart systems potentially turned against me. Leo huddled nearby, his small form barely visible in the gloom, clutching a stuffed bear. His courage, a spark in the void, anchored me. I needed to protect him, to unravel this before the poison won. My fingers twitched, defying the drug's grip, a faint promise of action. The stakes were clear, my company, my legacy, my life. Seraphina's footsteps retreated, her phone's glow betraying her vigilance. I had moments to plan to outwit her. The night stretched endless, a canvas of dread and resolve. I didn't know then how deep this trap ran, how it would test the very soul of my existence. Silicon Valley slept beyond my walls, its neon pulse indifferent to my plight. The poison dulled my edges, but Leo's words burned bright, a beacon in the haze. I clung to them, mapping my escape. Seraphina's betrayal was a wound, raw and deep, yet it sharpened my focus. I visualized Zenith servers, their data my shield if I could reach them. Leo's breathing steadied, his trust in me a fragile thread I couldn't break. I tested my limbs, fingers first, then wrists, each movement a rebellion against the drug. The room's tech, once my pride, loomed as a potential traitor. Cameras, sensors, all possibly hers. I needed allies, Brenda, my loyal housekeeper, or Jax, my cybersecurity genius. But first, survival. The redwood's ancient strength seeped through the windows, urging patience. Seraphina's voice murmured outside, a low hum to an unseen listener. Who pulled her strings? My empire hung in the balance, its innovations a target I hadn't foreseen. Leo stirred, his eyes meeting mine, wide with unspoken fear. I nodded, a silent vow. I didn't know then how deep this trap ran, how it would redefine trust and tear my world apart. I built Zenith Innovations from a spark in a Palo Alto garage, a dream to harness technology for truth. Now, as its CEO, I steer a billion-dollar empire, crafting AI that predicts markets with eerie precision. My values, integrity, innovation, rooted in my father's lessons under Montana pines, guide every decision. But tonight, poison in my veins mocks that control. My best friend, Mark Sterling, entrusted me with Leo after his wife's death. I'm the uncle who vowed to protect him. Seraphina, my fiancée, was my anchor. Her laughter once warmed my sterile world. How did I miss her shadow? My mansion, a glass fortress, hums with smart systems, yet feels hollow without trust. Zenith's boardrooms, where I outwit rivals, contrast with my quiet evenings reading to Leo, his small hand in mine. The corporate world, sharp, relentless, clashes with my longing for simplicity, for nights under stars. I've poured my soul into Zenith, but Mark's loss taught me family is fragile. Leo's courage tonight stirs that truth. As I lie still, feigning sleep, I wonder, was my ambition a beacon or a blindfold? The redwoods outside whisper patience, but time slips like sand. The poison dulls my senses, yet my mind traces my journey. I studied engineering at Stanford, driven by a hunger to solve the unsolvable. Zenith was born from sleepless nights, my code-weaving solutions competitors couldn't dream. My wealth grew, but so did isolation, friends faded, replaced by sycophants. Mark remained, his humor grounding me. Leo, his son, became my joy. I met Seraphina at a tech gala, her intellect a flame that drew me close. I proposed under starlight, believing we shared a vision. Now, her betrayal stings like frost. Zenith's world is sleek, glass towers, data streams, but its underbelly is ruthless, espionage, greed. My home, wired with AI, mirrors that duality, a haven, yet a potential cage. I've always trusted my instincts, honed in Montana's wilds, where survival demanded clarity. Leo's warning, pure as a mountain stream, rekindles that. I live for breakthroughs, but family marks memory. Leo's trust is my core. The corporate game rewards cunning, but I crave authenticity. As Seraphina's shadow looms, I vow to protect Leo, to reclaim my life. The night presses heavy, urging resolve. My empire thrives on precision, yet tonight, chaos reigns within me. Zenith's algorithms predict trends, but I never foresaw Seraphina's deceit. I'm a man of logic, yet faith, in Mark, in Leo, defines me. My mother, now frail and bowsman, taught me to listen to the earth. Her voice echoes as I fight the poison's grip. The corporate world, with its sterile handshakes, contrasts with Leo's drawings, vivid with hope. I've mentored thousands, but Leo's trust is my truest legacy. Seraphina's charm blinded me, her ambition cloaked in love. Zenith's rivals circle, sensing weakness. I've outmaneuvered them before, but this is personal. My mansion's tech, once my pride, may betray me. Cameras, sensors, all potentially hers. I need Brenda, my housekeeper, whose loyalty is unshakable, and Jax, my cybersecurity ally. The redwoods outside stand sentinel, their roots deep as my resolve. I live for Zenith's mission, but Leo's safety is my North Star. The corporate machine grinds on, but I'm a man, not a cock. As I plot my next move, one truth burns. I've built a titan, but trust is my foundation. The poison lingered, a fog in my veins, but Leo's warning sharpened my resolve. As dawn crept through the redwoods, I whispered to him to stay hidden. My mansion, a wired labyrinth, demanded caution. I needed an ally, someone untouched by Seraphina's web. Brenda, my housekeeper of a decade, emerged from the kitchen, her eyes sharp as river stones. She'd raised 3 kids in Oakland, her hands steady from years of quiet labor. "Mr. Hayes, you're pale as ash," she said, setting down a tray. I hesitated, then confided Leo's claim about the juice. Her face tightened, a storm brewing. Without a word, she fetched a vial from her apron, a testing kit she'd kept since her son's overdose scare. We poured the orange dregs, the liquid turning crimson, proof of betrayal. Brenda's world, grounded in loyalty, clashed with my high-tech empire, yet her instincts were my lifeline. "We'll fix this," she vowed, her voice a root in shifting soil. I tasked her with securing the sample, a step toward truth. The redwoods outside swayed, whispering courage. Seraphina's footsteps echoed upstairs. Time tightened like a noose, but Brenda's resolve steadied me. Brenda's hands moved with purpose, sealing the vial in a plastic bag. "I've seen shadows in this house," she said, her voice low. "Miss Seraphina's been too quiet, checking your study." Her words hit like hail, my fiancée, a predator in my sanctuary. Brenda, who'd mended my suits and guarded my secrets, was no stranger to crisis. Her life, shaped by loss and grit, contrasted my world of algorithms and boardrooms. Yet her clarity cut through my haze. I asked her to sweep the mansion for anything odd, devices, cameras, without alerting Seraphina. She nodded, her gaze fierce as a hawk's. "Leo needs you alive," she said, grounding me in duty. My mind flashed to Zenith's servers, vulnerable if Seraphina's reach extended there. Brenda's role was simple but vital: gather evidence, stay unseen. As she slipped toward the east wing, I tested my limbs, the poison's grip loosening. The mansion's smart lights flickered, a glitch or sabotage. Silicon Valley's dawn painted the sky gold. But danger coiled closer. Brenda's footsteps faded, her mission my first counterstrike. I didn't know how vast this betrayal was, but her strength, like the Earth's pulse, anchored my fight. Leo stirred in the corner, clutching his bear, eyes wide with trust. I signaled silence, my heart heavy with his safety. Brenda returned, her apron pocket bulging. Found this in the guest room vent. She whispered, revealing a tiny device, its lens glinting like a snake's eye. A camera, military grade, not mine. My stomach churned. Seraphina's surveillance was deeper than I'd feared. Brenda's discovery, born from her unassuming vigilance, thrust me into a new reality. Her world of practical truths, cleaning, caring, surviving, unmasked the deceit in my high-tech fortress. There's more, she warned, describing odd clicks on the house phone. I needed her to stay close, to be my eyes where tech might fail. Your family, I said, her loyalty a beacon. She agreed to monitor Seraphina's movements, her courage to find the corporate snakes circling Zenith. The redwoods outside stood tall, their roots a reminder of endurance. My empire hung in the balance, but Brenda's resolve, raw and unshakable, was my edge. Seraphina's voice drifted from the hall, sharp and unaware. I didn't know then how deep this trap ran. But Brenda's alliance lit the path. The dawn light filtered through my mansion's windows, a frail promise against the poison's lingering haze. Brenda's discovery of the camera confirmed Seraphina's treachery, but I needed a plan, a way to strike back without exposing Leo or myself. An idea crystallized. A covert operation to unravel her network, using Zenith's resources and my allies. I called Brenda to my study, its oak shelves heavy with secrets. We'll trace her moves, her contacts, I said, proposing we hack Zenith's systems to monitor her communications. Brenda nodded, her resolve like granite, but cautioned, Leo's scared, Mr. Hayes. He senses danger. My heart sank. Leo, my anchor, deserved safety, not this storm. His small voice echoed from the hall, Uncle Ethan, don't let her hurt us. I knelt, promising protection, yet doubt gnawed like winter frost. The redwoods outside stood sentinel, urging courage. Seraphina's laughter drifted from upstairs, a mask over her venom. This mission was my only path to reclaim control, to shield Leo and Zenith. Despite his fear, I chose to act. We'll do this together, I told Brenda, my voice steady. The forest whispered of roots enduring storms. I didn't know how vast her web was, but I'd tear it apart. Leo clutched his bear, eyes wide as I explained our plan. We'll watch Aunt Seraphina, like detectives, I said, softening the truth. His lip trembled. He'd lost his mother. And now trust crumbled again. What if she finds out? He whispered. His fear was a blade, cutting through my resolve. I hesitated, picturing him caught in this corporate war. Zenith's empire, my life's work, demanded I fight, but Leo was my heart. Brenda, wiping her hands on her apron, spoke, I'll keep him close, safe. Her world, practical, fierce, grounded my high-tech schemes. I wavered, the weight of his safety like stones in my chest. Seraphina's betrayal threatened everything. My company, my legacy, our lives. Refusing to act meant surrender. I hugged Leo, his warmth a spark in the cold. I'll protect you, I vowed, choosing the mission. The mansion's smart systems, once my pride, could be my weapon if I outsmarted her. Brenda would guard Leo. I'd dig into Zenith's data. Silicon Valley's pulse hummed outside, indifferent to our fight. The redwoods' shadows stretched, whispering endurance. I accepted the task, knowing the cost. Seraphina's footsteps neared. I didn't know then how deep her trap ran, but I'd face it. My decision settled like dew on grass, heavy yet clear. I tasked Brenda with watching Leo and the mansion's staff, ensuring no leaks. Check every corner, I said, handing her a burner phone for secure contact. She nodded, her loyalty a beacon in this fog. Leo tugged my sleeve, his voice small. Be careful, Uncle Ethan. His fear lingered, a cloud over my resolve, but I couldn't turn back. Seraphina's surveillance demanded precision. One misstep could doom us. I'd infiltrate Zenith's servers, trace her digital footprints, and expose her allies. The corporate world, ruthless, coded, clashed with Leo's innocence, yet both drove me. Brenda's grit, forged in Oakland's struggles, bolstered my plan. I activated a hidden terminal in my study, its glow a lifeline. The poison's grip faded, my body reclaiming strength. Silicon Valley's dawn burned bright, a call to action. The redwoods outside, ancient and unyielding, mirrored my vow, to protect, to prevail. Seraphina's voice carried from the foyer. unaware of my awakening. This mission was my rebirth, a chance to rebuild trust. I didn't know how vast her conspiracy was, but I'd unravel it, for Leo, for Zenith, for truth. My study's hidden terminal glowed, a portal to Zenith's digital heart. The covert investigation began, but the mansion's smart systems, once my allies, felt like a maze of potential traps. I accessed Zenith's servers, navigating encrypted layers I'd designed, now alien under pressure. The interface, sleek but unforgiving, demanded precision. One wrong keystroke could alert Seraphina. Brenda reported staff unease, their glances sharp as thorns, hinting at divided loyalties. My corporate world, polished in boardrooms, turned frigid here, every beep a possible betrayal. A notification flashed, an unauthorized login attempt on my private cloud. Seraphina's reach? My fingers froze, the poison's echo dulling my reflexes. Leo slept nearby, his presence a fragile anchor. The redwoods outside swayed, their roots urging focus. I rerouted the system's logs, masking my tracks, but the technology's complexity tested me. Brenda whispered, "The cook's been texting someone." Secretive. Her instincts, honed in Oakland streets, caught what my algorithms missed. The mansion's sterile air pressed heavy, a reminder of Zenith's ruthless stakes. Seraphina's perfume lingered in the hall, a taunt. I pushed forward, but doubt crept like fog. This new battlefield, coded and cold, was mine to conquer or lose everything. The terminal's hum was a lifeline, but Zenith's systems resisted like a locked vault. I traced the login attempt, finding a backdoor in the code, sophisticated, not my team's work. My empire's tech. Built to predict markets, now harbored a snake. The corporate culture I'd fostered, innovate, dominate, felt hollow. Colleagues I'd trusted might be complicit. A video feed glitched, showing Seraphina in my office, rifling papers. My stomach churned, she was steps ahead. Brenda, sweeping the east wing, found another device, a microphone, tucked in a chandelier. "They're listening," she said, her voice steady as stone. Her world, raw and real, clashed with this digital chess game, yet she adapted faster than I. I struggled with the system's new security protocols. Updates I hadn't overseen. Were they hers? Leo's crayon drawings lay scattered, a reminder of what I fought for. The redwood shadows deepened, whispering resilience. I patched the back door. But the effort drained me, the poison's ghost lingering. The staff's cold stares in the kitchen, reported by Brenda, signaled a deeper rot. Seraphina's allies were close, their loyalty bought. This new arena, unforgiving and coded, tested my soul. I vowed to press on. Each keystroke felt like defusing a bomb. The terminal's data revealed encrypted emails from my account, ones I never sent. Scheduling meetings with unknown parties. Seraphina's sabotage was surgical, exploiting my trust in Zenith's tech. The corporate world's sheen, glass towers, crisp suits, masked a viper's nest. I rerouted the email server, but the interface's complexity slowed me, a stark contrast to my usual command. Brenda's update chilled me. The gardener avoided her, his phone buzzing constantly. Subtle, but a crack in the facade. My team, once a family, now felt like strangers, their motives failed. The mansion's AI, programmed for efficiency, could be compromised, every camera a potential eye. Leo stirred, murmuring, "Is it safe?" His fear fueled me. I taught Brenda to spot wireless signals, her practicality outpacing my tech. The redwoods outside, ancient and unbowed, urged patience. I flagged the emails for analysis, but time slipped like sand. Seraphina's shadow loomed, her confidence unnerving. The poison's weight faded, but this new environment, cold, technical, treacherous, challenged my core. Brenda's loyalty, Leo's trust, were my roots. I didn't know how deep her conspiracy ran, but I'd unearth it, no matter the cost. My terminal flickered. Zenith's server's a battlefield of code. I traced Seraphina's fake emails to a hidden IP, a ghost in my system. The encryption was military-grade, a puzzle demanding my best. I wrote a decryption script, fingers flying, unraveling the cipher like a knot in redwood bark. Success. The emails revealed meetings with Victor Thorne, Seraphina's brother, and Zenith's COO. My heart raced. This was proof of conspiracy. Brenda, watching the feed, gasped, "You cracked it." Hurrah, raw as dawn, fueled me. I sent the data to a secure drive, masking my access. The staff's chatter quieted, my swift action rippled, earning nods from loyalists. But Seraphina's eyes narrowed at breakfast, her smile ablaze. My competence drew her scrutiny, a spotlight I couldn't afford. Leo hugged me, whispering, "You're like a superhero." His trust was sunlight, but Victor's sudden call, probing my schedule, felt like frost. The redwoods outside stood firm, their roots a silent cheer. I'd proven my skill, but the corporate snake pit stirred. Zenith's board would hear of this, some impressed, others threatened. Seraphina's next move loomed. I didn't know how deep her web spun, but I'd keep cutting through. The decrypted emails were a goldmine. Victor and Seraphina planned to siphon Zenith's assets. I cross-referenced their contacts, spotting a shadow account linked to an offshore server. My analytics, honed at Stanford, dissected the data like a surgeon. I built a tracking algorithm. Its logic a dance of ones and zeros, pinpointing their transactions. Brenda, delivering coffee, stared at the screen. "You're a wizard, Mr. Hayes," she said, her voice warm as hearthfire. Her praise grounded me, a tether to reality. I shared the findings with Jax Reed, my cybersecurity ally, via encrypted chat. His reply, "Game changer, Ethan." My prowess spread. Whispers of my skill reaching Zenith's engineers. But Victor's assistant lingered outside my study, her notepad busy, spying for him. Seraphina's charm at lunch, too polished, signaled danger. My success painted a target. Leo's laughter in the garden, pure as a stream, reminded me why I fought. The redwood shadows deepened, urging vigilance. My board allies texted support. But rivals murmured dissent. I'd outsmarted the system, but the corporate jungle bared its teeth. Seraphina's gaze burned. I didn't know how vast her conspiracy was. But my light was shining too bright. The algorithm hummed, flagging an encrypted call between Victor and an unknown party. I hacked the audio, my skills peeling back layers like moss from stone. The voice, Eleanor Vance, Zenith's legal chief, discussed a fake merger to tank our stock. My blood ran cold, the betrayal cut deeper. I recorded the call, securing it in a vaulted server. Brenda, sweeping nearby, noticed my tension. "You've done the impossible," she said, her eyes steady as earth. Her faith, unpolished but true, lifted me. Jax called, stunned by my evidence. "This'll shake the board," he said. My name buzzed in Zenith's Slack channels, engineers lauding my genius. But Eleanor's aide emailed me, requesting a routine meeting, her suspicion clear. Seraphina's hand on my shoulder at dinner felt like ice, her questions probing my day. Leo's drawing, a hero fighting snakes, warmed my heart but sharpened my stakes. The redwoods outside whispered endurance, their branches a shield. My brilliance drew allies, but enemies circled closer. Victor's glare across the table promised retaliation. I'd proven my worth. But the corporate storm brewed. I didn't know how deep their plot ran, but I'd face it, unyielding as stone. The mansion's study dimmed as dusk settled, my terminal's glow a lone star. Jax rejoined me, his laptop tethered to Zenith servers. We'd cracked Victor's plot, but Seraphina's shadow loomed. Over coffee, Jax's guard dropped. "Grew up in Oakland," he said. "Hacking to escape the streets." His eyes, sharp as flint, softened. I shared my Montana roots, fishing with my father under wide skies. "He taught me trust is earned," I said. Leo's face flashing in my mind. Jax nodded, confessing his sister's loss to addiction drove his code. Our worlds, corporate titan, street coder, met in shared loss. The redwoods outside swayed. Their whispers binding us. "We'll nail them," Jax vowed, his loyalty a river's flow. Leo slept upstairs, safe with Brenda. Our talk turned to Zenith's mission, truth through tech. "It's personal now." I admitted, Seraphina's betrayal a wound. Jax's hand gripped mine, a silent pact. The corporate chill faded, warmth blooming like spring. Seraphina's voice echoed in the hall, oblivious. Our bond, forged in quiet truths, was my shield. The forest's pulse urged us on. I didn't know how deep her conspiracy ran, but with Jax, I'd face the storm. Jax's fingers danced on his keyboard, mirroring my own. "My sister believed in second chances," he said, voice low. "That's why I fight." I saw Leo in his words, a child's trust worth saving. I opened up about Mark, my best friend, whose death left me as Leo's guardian. He'd laugh at my suits, I said, smiling. Jax chuckled, sharing how he'd coded his first app in a library, dodging gang shadows. Our stories wove together, roots entwining under Silicon Valley's gloss. The mansion's sterile air softened, our connection a hearth in the dark. "You're not just a CEO," Jax said. "You're real." His respect, hard-earned, warned me. We planned our next hack, targeting Eleanor's files, our trust a steel thread. Brenda checked in, her nod approving our alliance. Leo's crayon hero, taped to the wall, watched over us. The redwood's branches tapped the window, a rhythm of endurance. Seraphina's heels clicked outside, her ignorance our edge. This bond with Jax, born from shared scars, fueled my fight. Zenith's corporate maze awaited, but Jax's grit matched my resolve. The night deepened, a canvas of hope. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but together, we'd unravel it. We synced our screens, mapping Eleanor's digital trail. Jax's story lingered, his sister's smile, lost too soon. I spoke of my mother, her Montana garden teaching me patience. "She'd love Leo," I said, my voice catching. Jax shared his mentor, a hacker who saw his spark. "He's why I'm here," he said. Our pasts, raw and jagged, built a bridge. The corporate world, cold, calculated, faded in this moment. Jax's laugh, recalling a botched hack, eased my tension. I admitted Seraphina's charm had blinded me, her love a lie. "We all fall," Jax said, his eyes steady. Our alliance, rooted in truth, was unshakable. Brenda brought tea, her glance warm, sensing our bond. Leo's drawing, vivid with hope, anchored me. The redwoods outside stood tall, their strength ours. We cracked Eleanor's firewall. A victory born of trust. Seraphina's voice drifted from the foyer, unaware of our progress. Jax's skill, my vision, merged like rivers. Zenith's stakes, my empire, Leo's future, felt clearer. This connection, human and fierce, was my edge in the corporate storm. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but with Jax's fire, I'd burn it down. The mansion's air grew taut. My terminals hum a steady pulse. Jax and I scoured Eleanor's files, but a new alert flashed, a hidden device broadcasting from my library. Brenda found it, a sleek transmitter. Nestled in a hollowed book, its signal military grade. My skin prickled, Seraphina's web tightened. "They're watching everything," Jax muttered, his fingers tracing the device's circuits. I recalled Leo's drawing, jagged lines like cut wires, a child's warning of surveillance. The redwoods outside loomed, their shadows urging vigilance. A cryptic email hit my inbox and signed, "Check the statue. Trust no one." My gut twisted. Was it a trap or a lifeline? I sent Brenda to inspect a bronze eagle in the foyer, its base heavy with secrets. She returned, pale, holding a microchip pulsing faintly. Sabotage, woven into my home's bones. Zenith's corporate sheen hid vipers. This was no mere betrayal, but a calculated strike. Seraphina's laughter rang from the dining room, too carefree. Jax's eyes met mine, his nod firm. The forest whisper spoke of unseen roots. Leo's safety, my empire, hung in the balance. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but these signals screamed danger. Brenda's find shook me. The microchip's design matched tech I'd seen at Zenith's R&D, Dr. Silas Croft. Our innovation chief had access. My mind raced. Was he complicit? I cross-checked the transmitter's signal, tracing it to a server beyond Zenith's firewall. Jax hacked its logs, revealing encrypted chats mentioning asset transfer. The anonymous email gnawed at me. Its sender knew my home secrets. I hesitated, fearing a setup, but sent Jax to sweep my office. He found a tampered camera, its lens angled at my desk. "They've been here," he said, voice tight. Leo's latest sketch, left on my chair, showed, eyes and walls, his intuition chillingly precise. The redwood's branches tapped the window, a rhythm of caution. Seraphina's casual glance at dinner felt like a probe, her allies closer than I'd guessed. The corporate game, polished, ruthless, had invaded my sanctuary. Brenda whispered, "The staff's too quiet." Her instincts, sharp as flint, caught the undercurrent. My empire's tech, my pride, was a weapon against me. These signals, devices, warnings, drawings painted a conspiracy vast and cold. I clutched Leo's sketch, his trust my anchor. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but I'd expose its heart. The microchip's signal led to a dead-end server, a deliberate wall. I dug deeper, finding a memo in Eleanor's files, mislabeled but damning. Plans to restructure Zenith, signed by Victor and Silas. My breath caught. 3 pillars of my company, traitors. Jax flagged a glitch in the mansion's AI, lights flickering without cause. "It's coded interference," he said, eyes narrowed. Another anonymous note slipped under my study door. Nevada. Look deeper. Nevada? My mind flashed to Zenith's old testing site. Leo, coloring nearby, murmured, "Bad people hide things." His words, pure as a stream, echoed the warnings. The redwoods outside stood sentinel, their strength a call to act. Seraphina's voice carried from the hall, coordinating a meeting with Victor. Their boldness chilled me. Brenda reported a maid shredding papers, her hands trembling. The corporate world's gloss masked a rod I'd ignored. These signs, chips, memos, glitches, screamed sabotage. A plot to gut Zenith. My allies, Jax and Brenda, were my roots in this storm. Leo's eyes met mine, brave but small. I vowed to protect him, to unravel this. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but I'd tear it open. The mansion's shadows deepened, my terminal a beacon in the dark. I launched a covert audit of Zenith's systems, my code slicing through layers of deception. The tampered camera's logs revealed encrypted uploads to an external server. I traced them, my expertise, forged in Stanford's labs, unraveling the trail. The server hosted files labeled Project Eclipse, detailing stock manipulation tied to Victor, Eleanor, and Silas. My pulse quickened. This was no mere theft, but a coup. Jax monitored network traffic, his screen mirroring mine. "They're bleeding Zenith dry," he whispered. I cross-checked access logs, finding Silas's credentials on unauthorized servers. Brenda, sweeping the staff quarters, reported a burner phone hidden in the maid's room, its call history linking to Victor. The redwoods outside stood vigilant, their roots echoing my resolve. Leo's latest drawing, taped to my desk, showed dark clouds over a tower, his intuition piercing the fog. My investigation, silent as a stream, exposed a web of greed. Seraphina's voice drifted from the foyer, unaware of my progress. The corporate machine hummed, but I was its ghost, hunting truth. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but I'd map its every thread. I deepened my probe, auditing Zenith's financial logs. My algorithms flagged irregular transfers, millions funneled to shell companies. The metadata pointed to Eleanor's encrypted laptop, accessed after hours. I hacked its backup, my skills peeling back her defenses like bark from a tree. The files confirmed Project Eclipse aimed to crash Zenith stock, enriching the conspirators. Jax analyzed the server's IP, tracing it to a Nevada data center. "That's no coincidence," he said, recalling the anonymous note. I taught Brenda to scan for wireless signals, her practicality amplifying my tech. She found a second transmitter in the garage, its signal pulsing to the same Nevada hub. Leo, coloring nearby, murmured, "They're hiding in the desert." His words, pure as dawn, aligned with the clues. The redwood's branches swayed, urging precision. I cross-referenced employee records, spotting anomalies in Silas's project approvals, funds diverted to unlisted vendors. The corporate world's gloss hit a rod I'd underestimated. My secret investigation, fueled by logic and instinct, unraveled their scheme. Seraphina's casual glance at dinner felt sharper, her allies closing in. Jax's nod steadied me. Brenda's vigilance was my shield. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but I'd expose its core. The Nevada server's firewall was a fortress, but I breached it, my code a silent blade. Inside, I found encrypted videos of Victor, Eleanor, and Silas discussing a fake merger to tank Zenith. My stomach churned. Their betrayal was surgical. I downloaded the evidence, securing it in a vaulted drive. Jax audited the mansion's AI, confirming its glitches were deliberate, coded by Silas's team. Brenda reported the gardener's late-night calls, his voice hushed, naming Dorian. The name struck like lightning. Dorian Croft. My former mentor, vanished years ago. Was he the puppeteer? Leo's drawing now showed a man in shadows, chillingly accurate. The redwoods outside whispered of hidden roots, urging me to dig deeper. I cross-checked Zenith's old contracts, finding Dorian's signature on a Nevada lease. My investigation, a tapestry of tech and instinct, revealed a conspiracy vast as the desert. Seraphina's laughter at breakfast masked her venom, but I was steps ahead. The corporate labyrinth, cold and cunning, was my terrain now. Brenda and Jax, my anchors, shared my fire. Leo's trust, fragile but fierce, drove me. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but I'd shatter its foundation. The threats burned in my mind, but my terminal was my sword. I hacked deeper into the Nevada server, bypassing its final firewall. A folder labeled Apex Protocol revealed emails between Dorian Croft and a rival firm, Quantum Dynamics. They detailed a plan to seize Zenith's AI patents post-merger. My breath caught. Dorian, my mentor, was the traitor's architect. Jax confirmed the email's authenticity, his voice taut. Quantum's been circling us, he said. Brenda, guarding Leo, found a flash drive in the maid's locker, its files mirroring Apex Protocol. It's them, she whispered, her eyes fierce. The redwoods outside stood firm, their roots echoing my resolve. My investigation broke through. Dorian's betrayal was internal, but Quantum was the puppeteer. Victor's late-night call, caught on Jax's tap, mentioned Dorian's orders. The corporate world's veneer cracked, exposing greed. Leo's drawing, now on my desk, showed a dark man, leading snakes, his vision uncanny. I secured the evidence, my skills a shield. Seraphina's gaze at breakfast felt heavier, her ignorance my edge. Jax urged, we need more to nail Quantum. Brenda nodded, her loyalty a beacon. The forest whispered of hidden strength. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but I'd expose it. The flash drive's data was a goldmine. Financial trails linking Quantum Dynamics to Eleanor's shell companies. I cross-referenced Zenith's logs, finding Dorian's old access codes still active, used to siphon data. My expertise, honed in sleepless nights, unraveled their scheme. Jax traced Quantum's CEO to a meeting with Silas, recorded on a hacked feed. They're gutting Zenith, Jax said, his fingers flying. Brenda reported Victor's age-shredding documents, her Oakland grit catching the cover-up. The evidence was clear. Dorian orchestrated betrayal from within, with Quantum as the external predator. Leo, playing nearby, murmured. The bad man's hiding. His words, pure as a stream, spurred me. The redwood shadows deepened, urging precision. I compiled the findings, emails, codes, recordings, into a secure vault. The corporate labyrinth, once my domain, was a battlefield. Seraphina's casual chat about Zenith's future rang hollow, her role clearer. Jax pushed for a deeper dive into Quantum's servers. We can end this, he said. Brenda's hand on my shoulder was a rock. My breakthrough exposed the rot, but the fight loomed. The forest's pulse beat strong. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but I'd tear its roots apart. Dorian's codes led to a hidden Zenith database, untouched for years. I cracked it, finding contracts tying Quantum Dynamics to Nevada's testing site. The Apex Protocol aimed to bankrupt Zenith, letting Quantum claim our tech. My heart raced. This was the heart of their betrayal. Jax audited the database, spotting Silas's digital fingerprints. He's been feeding them, Jax said, eyes blazing. Brenda found a coded note in Victor's coat, naming Dorian as the conductor. Her discovery, raw and real, sealed the internal link. Leo's latest sketch showed a desert hideout, chillingly precise. The redwoods outside whispered endurance, their branches a shield. My investigation, a tapestry of tech and instinct, confirmed Quantum's shadow over Zenith. Eleanor's encrypted email, just decrypted, ordered Victor to secure the board. Their audacity stunned me. I backed up the evidence, my skills a fortress. Seraphina's laughter from the hall master venom, but I was steps ahead. Jax and Brenda urged me to strike soon. For Leo, Brenda said, her voice steady. The corporate storm raged, but my allies were my roots. I didn't know how vast their conspiracy was, but with this breakthrough, I'd dismantle their empire. The threats burned in my mind, but my terminal was my sword. I hacked deeper into the Nevada server, bypassing its final firewall. A folder labeled Apex Protocol revealed emails between Dorian Croft and a rival firm, Quantum Dynamics. They detailed a plan to seize Zenith's AI patents post-merger. My breath caught. Dorian, my mentor, was the traitor's architect. Jax confirmed the email's authenticity, his voice taut. Quantum's been circling us, he said. Brenda, guarding Leo, found a flash drive in the maid's locker, its files mirroring Apex Protocol. It's them, she whispered, her eyes fierce. The redwoods outside stood firm, their roots echoing my resolve. My investigation broke through. Dorian's betrayal was internal, but Quantum was the puppeteer. Victor's late-night call, caught on Jax's tap, mentioned Dorian's orders. The corporate world's veneer cracked, exposing greed. Leo's drawing, now on my desk, showed a dark man, leading snakes, his vision uncanny. I secured the evidence, my skills a shield. Seraphina's gaze at breakfast felt heavier, her ignorance my edge. Jax urged, "We need more to nail Quantum." Brenda nodded, her loyalty a beacon. The forest whispered of hidden strength. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but I'd expose it. The flash drive's data was a goldmine. Financial trails linking quantum dynamics to Eleanor's shell companies. I cross-referenced Zenith's logs, finding Dorian's old access codes still active. Used to siphon data. My expertise, honed in sleepless nights, unraveled their scheme. Jax traced Quantum's CEO to a meeting with Silas, recorded on a hacked feed. "They're gutting Zenith," Jax said. His fingers flying. Brenda reported Victor's age-shredding documents, her Oakland grit catching the cover-up. The evidence was clear. Dorian orchestrated betrayal from within, with Quantum as the external predator. Leo, playing nearby, murmured, "The bad man's hiding." His words, pure as a stream, spurred me. The redwood shadows deepened, urging precision. I compiled the findings, emails, codes, recordings, into a secure vault. The corporate labyrinth, once my domain, was a battlefield. Seraphina's casual chat about Zenith's future rang hollow. Her role clearer. Jax pushed for a deeper dive into quantum servers. "We can end this," he said. Brenda's hand on my shoulder was a rock. My breakthrough exposed the rot, but the fight loomed. The forest pull speed strong. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but I'd tear its roots apart. Dorian's codes led to a hidden Zenith database, untouched for years. I cracked it, finding contracts tying quantum dynamics to Nevada's testing site. The Apex protocol aimed to bankrupt Zenith, letting Quantum claim our tech. My heart raced. This was the heart of their betrayal. Jax audited the database, spotting Silas's digital fingerprints. "He's been feeding them," Jax said, eyes blazing. Brenda found a coded note in Victor's coat, naming Dorian as the conductor. Her discovery, raw and real, sealed the internal link. Leo's latest sketch showed a desert hideout, chillingly precise. The redwoods outside whispered endurance, their branches a shield. My investigation, a tapestry of tech and instinct, confirmed Quantum's shadow over Zenith. Eleanor's encrypted email, just decrypted, ordered Victor to secure the board. Their audacity stunned me. I backed up the evidence, my skills a fortress. Seraphina's laughter from the hall masked her venom, but I was steps ahead. Jax and Brenda urged me to strike soon. "For Leo," Brenda said, her voice steady. The corporate storm raged, but my allies were my roots. I didn't know how vast their conspiracy was, but with this breakthrough, I dismantled their empire. The mansion's silence pressed heavy, my terminals hum a fragile thread. The Apex protocol files exposed Quantum's grip, but a new alert chilled me. A data breach traced to Jax's laptop. My ally, my friend, could he be compromised? His late-night logins, flagged in Zenith's system, matched Dorian's server pings. My gut twisted. Trust, my cornerstone, wavered. Brenda noticed my tension. "Jax has been jumpy," she said, her voice low. Leo's drawing, taped nearby, showed a friend with two faces. His intuition, sharp as a blade, haunted me. The redwoods outside stood tall, their roots urging clarity. Protocol demanded I lock Jax's access, report the breach. But his stories, his sister, his fight, echoed in me. I confronted him in the study, his eyes wide. "I'm clean." "Ethan," he swore, showing his logs, hacked remotely. Intuition screamed he was true, but doubt lingered like fog. Seraphina's laughter drifted from the hall, her web tightening. Brenda urged caution, but Leo's trust in Jax held me. The corporate storm raged, protocol cold as steel. I chose instinct, keeping Jax close. The forest whispered of faith tested. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but I'd navigate the shadow. Jax's explanation held, but the breach's precision unnerved me. I audited his laptop, finding a Trojan, Dorian's signature code, planted to frame him. My relief was fleeting. The conspiracy's reach was surgical. Brenda found a tampered lock on Jax's room, suggesting physical access. "Someone's playing us," she said, her Oakland grit sharpening her words. Leo, coloring nearby, murmured, "The bad man tricks friends." His wisdom, pure as a stream, cut through my doubt. Protocol would isolate Jax, report him to Zenith's board, risking exposure. But his loyalty, our late-night talks, his fire felt real. I recalled my father's Montana lessons. Trust the heart when logic falters. Seraphina's casual glance at dinner, too knowing, fueled my suspicion of her, not Jax. I restored his access, tasking him with tracing the Trojan source. The redwood's branches swayed, a rhythm of risk. The corporate world, with its sterile rules, clashed with my faith in him. Brenda's nod, cautious but firm, backed my choice. Leo's smile, watching Jax, was my guide. The breach was a test, Dorian's ploy to fracture us. I chose intuition, betting on our bond. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but I'd hold my allies tight. The Trojans' trail led to a Nevada proxy, Dorian's digital shadow. I shared my decision with Jax, his gratitude a spark in the dark. "I'd never betray you," he said. I steady. But doubt's echo lingered. Had I misjudged? Brenda reported Victor's aide lingering near Jax's room, a planted clue. "They want us divided," she warned. Leo's latest sketch showed a hero and friend fighting snakes, his faith in Jax clear. The redwoods outside whispered endurance, their strength my anchor. Protocol's cold logic suspend. Investigate would delay our fight, exposing Leo. My intuition, honed in Silicon Valley's battles, chose trust. I tasked Jax with fortifying our servers, his skills my shield. Seraphina's voice, coordinating with Victor, carried from the foyer, oblivious to our progress. The corporate maze, ruthless and coded, tested my core. Brenda's loyalty, Jax's fire, were my roots. I rejected protocol, embracing the risk of faith. Leo hugged me, his warmth a beacon. Dorian's conspiracy aimed to break us, but I'd forge our unity stronger. The forest's pulse urged resolve. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but with Jax, I'd unravel its heart. The mansion's air crackled, my terminal a lifeline. I'd cleared Jax, but the Trojans' Nevada trail gnawed at me. I cracked a hidden Zenith archive, expecting Victor's fingerprints. Instead, a video stunned me. Dorian Croft, my vanished mentor, not Seraphina, led secret meetings with Eleanor and Silas. His voice, cold as ice, outlined a plan to crash Zenith stock for revenge. My success had eclipsed his legacy. My heart sank. Dorian, once my guide, was the true Viper. Jax gasped, "He's alive?" Brenda, clutching Leo's latest drawing, a Shadow King, nodded grimly. The redwoods outside loomed, their roots whispering betrayal's depth. Seraphina and Victor were pawns, Dorian's tools to destroy me. The corporate world's sheen hid his vendetta, fueled by envy. I found his manifesto, buried in the archive, vowing to reclaim Tech's throne. Leo murmured, "The bad man hates you." His truth, pure as dawn, cut deep. Seraphina's laughter downstairs felt hollow, her role diminished. Jax urged, "We need his location." Brenda's eyes blazed. She'd seen Dorian's photo in old staff files. My empire teetered, Dorian's shadow vast. The forest urged defiance. I didn't know how deep his conspiracy ran, but I'd unmask him. The archive revealed Dorian's blueprint. A fake merger to bankrupt Zenith, his revenge for my rise. I traced his emails, finding a Nevada bunker, his command center. My skills, honed in Silicon Valley's fires, peeled back his lies. Jax audited the video's metadata, confirming Dorian's presence weeks ago. "He's the puppet master," Jax said, voice tight. Brenda found a coded ledger in Victor's office. Dorian's initials scrawled across payments to quantum dynamics. Her discovery, raw as earth, exposed his greed. Leo's drawing, now showing a desert castle, chilled me, his vision aligned with the bunker. The redwood's branches swayed, urging precision. Dorian's betrayal stung deeper than Seraphina's. He'd shaped my vision, only to crave its ruin. The corporate game, ruthless and coded, was his weapon. I decrypted his manifesto further, revealing plans to sell Zenith's AI to rivals. Eleanor and Silas, his lieutenants, were complicit for power. Seraphina's casual chat at lunch, oblivious, confirmed her lesser role. Jax pushed for a trap. Brenda vowed to guard Leo. My mentor's shadow loomed, his motives clear. The forest pull speech strong. I didn't know how vast his plot was, but I'd topple his throne. Dorian's Nevada bunker was real, a leased site in Zenith's old records. I hacked its security feed, spotting him directing operatives. My blood ran cold. The man who'd taught me code now sought my end. Jax flagged Dorian's transactions, millions funneled through Eleanor's shells. "He's bleeding us," Jax said, eyes fierce. Brenda uncovered a photo in the attic. Dorian with me, years ago, his smile a mask. Leo, nearby, whispered, "He's the worst." His words, clear as a stream, sealed the twist. The redwoods outside stood sentinel, their strength my guide. Dorian's revenge, not Seraphina's ambition, drove this war. The corporate world's gloss hid his fury, my success was his wound. I compiled the evidence, videos, ledgers, feeds. Victor's calls, intercepted, named Dorian as the boss. Seraphina was a decoy, her betrayal shallow. Jax and Brenda urged action. Their trust my anchor. The forest whispered of roots enduring storms. I trusted Dorian, but he craved my crown. Leo's courage, Brenda's grit, Jax's fire fueled me. The corporate storm raged. But I'd face my mentor. I didn't know how deep his conspiracy ran, but I'd end his reign. Dorian's shadow loomed, his Nevada bunker a fortress of deceit. My terminal flickered as Zenith's alarms blared, unauthorized access to my private vault. They were hunting us. I locked the mansion's systems, but Seraphina's voice, sharp from the foyer, ordered staff to find Ethan. Jax hacked the security feed, spotting Victor's car circling the estate. We're trapped, he whispered. Brenda hid Leo in a panic room, her hands steady as stone. I accessed Dorian's server, downloading his merger plans, my fingers racing. The redwoods outside swayed, their roots urging speed. A thud echoed, someone tampering with the front gate. My heart pounded. Leo's safety was my fire. Jax rerouted the mansion's cameras, blinding their pursuit. Brenda reported a drone overhead, its lens glinting. Dorian's operatives were closing in. Their corporate claws bared. I encrypted the downloaded files, evading their digital traps. Seraphina's heels clicked closer, her ignorance fraying. The forest whispered of survival. Its pulse my guide. We were cornered, the survival game begun. Leo's muffled voice from the panic room, be brave, steeled me. Jax's nod was fierce, Brenda's grip firm. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but I'd outrun their hunt. The mansion's lights flickered, Dorian's hackers probing our defenses. I counter-hacked, redirecting their signals to a dummy server. Jax's screen showed armed figures at the perimeter, Quantum's mercenaries. They're not playing, he said, voice tight. Brenda, monitoring the panic room, whispered, Leo's scared but safe. Her Oakland grit anchored us. I accessed Zenith's satellite link, pulling bunker schematics, our only lead to Dorian. The data transfer lagged. Their interference fierce. A window shattered downstairs. Footsteps echoed. Seraphina's voice sparked orders, her pawn status clear. The redwood shadows deepened, urging cunning. I triggered the mansion's lockdown, steel shutters slamming shut. Buying time. Jax planted a virus in Dorian's network, slowing their assault. My skills, once for innovation, now fought for survival. Brenda slipped me a burner phone, its signal untraceable. For Leo, she said. The corporate storm raged, its stakes brutal, my empire, my family. I evaded their digital traps, securing the schematics. The drone's hum grew louder, a hunter's eye. Leo's courage, faint through the walls, was my spark. We were prey in a coated jungle, but our fight burned bright. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but I'd slipped their noose. Victor's car screeched outside, his men breaching the garden. My terminal pinged, Dorian's server locked me out, but not before I grabbed his operative list. Jax jammed the drone's signal, its crash a fleeting win. Brenda reported a staff member fleeing, likely a mole. They're inside, she warned, her eyes fierce. I hacked the mansion's sprinklers, flooding the lawn to slow the mercenaries. The schematics revealed Dorian's bunker had a self-destruct protocol, his failsafe. My breath caught. We were running out of time. Seraphina pounded the study door, her voice venomous. The redwoods outside stood sentinel, their strength my vow. I relayed the operative list to a secure drive, evading their trace. Jax's virus spread, crippling their comms. Brenda guarded the panic room, her loyalty a rock. The corporate predators circled, their trap tightening. Leo's drawing, clutched in my pocket, showed a hero running. His faith drove me. We dodged physical and digital pursuit, our survival a desperate dance. The forest's pulse roared, urging defiance. Seraphina's shouts grew frantic, her control slipping. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but with Jax and Brenda, I'd break free. The mansion's lockdown held, but Dorian's hunters prowled outside. In the study, Jax, Brenda, and I planned our counterstrike. We exposed them at Zenith's gala, I said, eyeing the charity event's live broadcast potential. Jax nodded, hacking Dorian's bunker feed to capture his orders. I compiled our evidence, emails, videos, ledgers, into an encrypted presentation. Brenda, guarding Leo, suggested leaking fake data to trap Seraphina. "Make her slip," she urged, her voice steady as stone. Leo, safe in the panic room, whispered through the comms, "Show the world." His courage, pure as a stream, fueled us. The redwoods outside stood tall, their roots whispering defiance. I crafted a decoy file, implying Zenith's sale to Quantum, and fed it to Victor's email. Jax rigged the gala's projector to stream our evidence. The corporate storm loomed, but our plan was a blade. Seraphina's shouts outside faded, her pawn status clear. Brenda secured Leo's drawings, their truths a silent weapon. We were hunted. But our counterattack took shape. The forest's pulse urged precision. I didn't know how deep Dorian's conspiracy ran, but with this evidence, we'd shatter his empire before the world. Jax's hack pulled live audio from Dorian's bunker, Victor and Eleanor plotting Zenith's collapse. I synced it to our presentation, my skills weaving a damning narrative. Brenda planted the decoy file in Seraphina's tablet, her Oakland instincts flawless. "She'll bite," Brenda said, eyes fierce. Leo's latest drawing, slipped under the door, showed a hero lighting the dark. His faith, bright as dawn, anchored me. I cross-checked the gala's guest list, ensuring board members attended. Jax fortified our servers, blocking Dorian's counter-hacks. "We'll own the stage," he vowed, his fire matching mine. The mansion's shutters rattled, mercenaries testing our defenses. I encrypted our evidence vault, evading their digital claws. Brenda trained the staff loyalists to watch Seraphina's moves during the gala. The redwood's branches swayed, a rhythm of resolve. Our plan: expose Dorian, Victor, Eleanor. Silas relied on precision. Seraphina's voice, calmer now, hinted at overconfidence. The corporate jungle, coded and ruthless, was our battlefield. Leo's voice crackled. "You're my hero." His trust was my shield. We gathered every file, every clip, for the public strike. The forest whispered of roots enduring storms. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but our counterattack would burn bright. The gala loomed, our evidence locked in a secure drive. I drafted a speech, naming Dorian as the traitor, my words sharp as flint. Jax looped the bunker's feed, capturing Silas directing Quantum's funds. "This'll bury them," Jax said, his screen glowing. Brenda found a hidden mic in the gala's venue, Dorian's last trap. She disabled it, her grit outpacing tech. Leo's drawing, now in my pocket, showed a world watching. His vision, clear as a river, guided us. I rigged the gala's broadcast to override any sabotage. My code a fortress. Jax and Brenda rehearsed our roles. I'd speak, Jax would stream, Brenda would guard Leo. The mercenaries retreated, Dorian's plan faltering. Seraphina's casual text about the gala felt like a taunt, her ignorance our edge. The redwoods outside stood sentinel, their strength our vow. Our counterattack, fueled by evidence and unity, was ready. The corporate world's gloss would crack under truth's weight. Leo's laughter, faint through the walls, was my fire. We'd expose the conspiracy, reclaim Zenith. The forest pulse roared, urging courage. I didn't know how deep Dorian's conspiracy ran, but our strike would light the dark. The gala's lights dazzled Silicon Valley's elite, but my heart raced as I stepped to the podium. Victor took the stage first, his smile slick, presenting forged documents claiming I'd sold Zenith to Quantum Dynamics. Gasps rippled, the crowd's trust wavered. Seraphina, beside him, nodded, her eyes cold. Jax, hidden backstage, signaled our feed was ready. I began, voice steady, "Zenith's truth is under attack." The screen lit up, streaming Dorian's bunker video, his voice plotting Zenith's ruin. The audience froze, Victor's face paled. I showed emails, ledgers, proving their fraud. The redwood strength, etched in my mind, fueled me. Eleanor stood, shouting falsified logs to discredit me, but Jax countered with live server data, exposing her lies. Brenda, guarding Leo in the wings, whispered, "Now, Mr. Hayes." I played Silas's recorded call, naming Dorian as mastermind. The corporate facade cracked, truth ablade. Seraphina's charm faltered, her role exposed. The forest pulse, steady as roots, guided me. Leo's drawing, in my pocket, showed a hero's light. The crowd roared, demanding justice. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but this confrontation shook its core. Victor's forged documents flashed on screen, a desperate bid to sway the board. Ethan's reckless, he claimed, waving fake contracts. The audience murmured, doubt spreading like frost. Seraphina backed him, her voice honeyed, accusing me of mismanagement. I countered, projecting the Apex protocol files, detailing Dorian's stock manipulation. The room hushed. Board members leaned forward. Jack streamed live hacks of Quantum's accounts, showing millions stolen from Zenith. Eleanor, frantic, displayed doctored emails, alleging my collusion. I unveiled her real correspondence with Dorian, my code slicing through her deceit. Brenda's nod from the sidelines, fierce as stone, urged me on. I played the Nevada bunker audio, Dorian directing Victor's moves. The gala's glitz faded, raw truth emerging. Silas, cornered, claimed sabotage, but my server logs, pristine, exposed as tampering. The Redwood's whisper of endurance steadied my resolve. Leo's courage, his hero sketch, burned in me. Seraphina's poise crumbled, her pawn status clear. The crowd's outrage swelled. Cameras capturing every word. The corporate storm, once their shield, turned against them. Jax's grin backstage was fire. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but our evidence lit the dark. The screen flared with Dorian's manifesto, his voice vowing revenge. Victor lunged for the controls, but Jax locked the system, my code a fortress. I showed the Nevada schematics, pinpointing Dorian's bunker. Eleanor's forged logs collapsed under my cross-reference data, her face ashen. Silas's recorded betrayal played again, his words damning. The audience, Silicon Valley's power, turned on them. Seraphina's plea, it's a setup, drowned in booze. I presented Leo's drawings, their eerie accuracy as silent witness. Brenda, shielding Leo, beamed pride. The Redwood's roots, deep in my soul, anchored me. I exposed Quantum's payments to Victor, my evidence ironclad. The board demanded arrests, security closed in. The corporate world's gloss shattered. Truth, a tidal wave. Jax's live feed broadcast globally, YouTube ablaze. Leo's voice, through my earpiece, said, "You did it." His faith, pure as a river, lifted me. Seraphina and Victor, unmasked, stood frozen. Dorian's shadow loomed, but this moment was ours. The forest pulse roared, urging justice. The gala, meant to bury me, became their end. I didn't know how deep their conspiracy ran, but I'd struck its heart. The gala's air crackled, Silicon Valley's elite riveted. Victor, cornered, accused me of fabricating evidence, his voice a desperate snarl. He's doctored those files, he shouted, waving forged logs. I countered, projecting raw server data, my logic ablade. These are live, untampered, I said, showing Dorian's bunker feed. The crowd leaned in, cameras rolling. Eleanor claimed entrapment, her forged emails flashing. I debunked them with timestamped originals, my voice steady as stone. Jack streamed Quantum's illicit transfers, numbers undeniable. Seraphina, faltering, called me a traitor, but I played her recorded call with Victor, exposing her pawn role. The Redwood strength, rooted in my mind, fueled my resolve. Silas, sweating, argued technical errors, but my code audit, displayed live, proved his sabotage. The intellectual duel raged, their lies unraveling. Brenda, shielding Leo backstage, whispered, "Finish it." Leo's drawing, in my hand, showed a hero's truth. The forest's pulse, deep as roots, guided me. My evidence, ironclad, silenced their protests. The board's gasps turned to outrage. Security advancing. Victor's defiance crumbled. Seraphina's mask fell. I didn't know how deep Dorian's conspiracy ran, but my logic won this battle. The debate intensified, Victor's accusations wild. Ethan's crashing Zenith for profit, he yelled, brandishing fake financials. I countered with audited ledgers, my analytics slicing through his deceit. These show your theft, I said, projecting Quantum's accounts. The audience, once swayed, now jeered. Eleanor's legal jargon, claiming my evidence was inadmissible, faltered as I displayed her signed orders to Dorian. Jax hacked live into Silas's laptop, revealing his coded sabotage. "Checkmate," Jax muttered, his feed global. Seraphina's plea, "I was coerced," rang hollow. I replayed her plotting with Victor, her voice clear. The Redwood's whisper of endurance steadied me. My logic, forged in Stanford's labs, dismantled their facade. Silas's technical rebuttal, claiming server glitches, collapsed under my real-time diagnostics, projected for all. Brenda's fierce nod from the wings, Leo's trust in my pocket, anchored me. The corporate storm, their shield, became my arena. The crowd's fury peaked, YouTube streams exploding. Victor's hands shook, Eleanor's composure cracked. My resolve, unyielding as granite, held firm. The forest roots urged truth. Security closed in, their lies exposed. I didn't know how vast their plot was, but this clash tilted the scales. Eleanor's final gambit, a forged video of me confessing, flickered on-screen. I countered instantly, streaming the video's metadata, proving manipulation. Dorian's work, I declared. Showing his bunker schematics. Victor's shout, "You're ruining Zenith," drowned in booze. I presented Leo's drawings, their eerie truths silencing doubters. Seraphina's tears, a last ploy. Met my audio of her laughing with Dorian. Silas's claim of external hacks fell as I ran a live trace, pinning his sabotage. Jax's grin backstage, Brenda's steady gaze, fueled me. The redwood's pulse, ancient and fierce, roared in me. My logic, a beacon, cut through their chaos. The board demanded justice, the crowd's roar deafening. Victor slumped, Eleanor froze. Seraphina fled the stage. I stood tall, my evidence a fortress, emails, recordings, audits, all undeniable. The corporate veil tore, truth a tidal wave. Leo's voice, through my earpiece, said, "You're winning." His faith, pure as a river, was my crown. The gala, their trap, became my triumph. Security seized Victor and Eleanor. Silas cornered. I didn't know how deep Dorian's conspiracy ran. But my resolve, sharp as flint, claimed victory. The gala's chaos stilled as security seized Victor and Eleanor, their forged lies shattered. Seraphina fled, but police intercepted her. Her pawn roll exposed. I deactivated Dorian's remote access to Zenith servers, my code severing his digital claws. Silas, cornered, confessed to sabotage, his voice broken. The board, once swayed, applauded, trust in me restored. Jax's live feed, viral on YouTube, cemented our victory. Brenda emerged with Leo, his small hand in hers, his smile at dawn. "You did it, Uncle Ethan," he said. His faith my anchor. The redwood's whisper, etched in my soul, spoke of roots enduring storms. I addressed the crowd, vowing Zenith's renewal. The corporate veil, torn by truth, lay bare. Dorian's shadow lingered, but his lieutenants were caged. Brenda's nod, fierce as granite, sealed our bond. The gala's lights dimmed, Silicon Valley's elite cheering. My evidence, videos, ledgers, audits had neutralized the threat. Leo's drawings, now framed backstage, were my silent guide. The forest's pulse, steady and deep, urged healing. Trust, once fractured, bloomed anew. I didn't know where Dorian hid, but his empire crumbled here, and Zenith stood tall. Victor's cuffs clicked, Eleanor's protests faded, and Silas's confession echoed. I ran a final sweep, purging Dorian's backdoors from Zenith systems. My terminal, once a battlefield, now secured our future. Seraphina's arrest, broadcast live, stunned the crowd. Jax shut down the Nevada server's last relay, his grin fierce. "We gutted them," he said. Brenda, shielding Leo, reported the staff's relief, a loyalist rally behind me. The board issued a statement, reinstating my leadership, trust rebuilt. Leo hugged me, his warmth a river's flow. "No more bad people," he whispered, his drawings prophetic. The redwoods outside, ancient and unbowed, mirrored my resolve. I shared the stage with Jax and Brenda, crediting their courage. The corporate storm, once crushing, dissipated under truth's weight. My empire, battered but strong, would rise. The gala's cameras captured every moment, YouTube ablaze with our story. Dorian's absence nod, but his pawns were gone. Brenda's hand on my shoulder, Jax's nod, forged our family. The forest roots, deep in Silicon Valley's earth, urged renewal. I vowed to protect Leo, to rebuild Zenith. The threat was dead, trust reborn. I didn't know where Dorian lurked. But we'd won this war. The crowd's cheers faded, but Leo's smile lingered, pure as a stream. I locked Zenith servers, my code a fortress against future betrayal. Victor, Eleanor. And Silas faced charges, their conspiracy shattered. Seraphina's plea deal exposed Dorian's broader network, her role minor. Jax archived our evidence, ensuring legal weight. Brenda rallied the staff. Their loyalty my foundation. The board, humbled, pledged transparency, my vision restored. Leo's drawings, displayed at the gala's close, Drew gasps, his truth had guided us. The redwood's pulse, steady as time, whispered of healing. I stood with Jax and Brenda, our unity unyielding. The corporate world, once a viper's nest, bent to our will. Silicon Valley's elite, now allies, backed Zenith's revival. YouTube streams, million strong, spread our triumph. Dorian's shadow, though distant, was dimmed, his lieutenants fallen, his plans dust. I hugged Leo, his courage my light. Brenda's grit, Jax's fire, were my roots. The forest's strength, woven in my soul, urged a new dawn. Trust, fragile but fierce, bloomed in Zenith's halls. The threat was gone, the conspirators caged. I didn't know where Dorian hid, but this victory was ours. The gala's echo faded, Silicon Valley's lights dimming. I stood in my study, Leo asleep upstairs, his drawings framed on my desk. This journey, from Poison's grip to unmasking Dorian's lieutenants, taught me trust is fragile, yet fierce. My father's Montana lessons, fishing under wide skies, whispered, listen to the small voices. Leo's warnings, pure as a river, saved me. I built Zenith on innovation, but Seraphina's betrayal showed justice demands vigilance. The corporate world, glossy and cold, thrives on greed. But ethics, rooted like redwoods, endure. Brenda's loyalty, Jax's fire, were my anchors. Their faith rebuilt what deceit tore down. Leo's smile, warm as dawn, was my true legacy. My mother's garden, blooming in memory, urged me to nurture truth. The forest's pulse, deep in my soul, spoke of balance. Power without heart is hollow. I'd fought for Zenith, but Leo's trust was my crown. The redwoods outside stood sentinel, their roots my guide. Dorian's shadow lingered, but I learned to hear the whispers, children, allies, instincts. Trust, once shattered, could mend, but only through courage. This battle, viral on YouTube, was a beacon. I vowed to live justly for Leo, for truth. Reflecting, I saw my error, blind faith in Seraphina, in corporate sheen. Zenith's algorithms predicted markets, but not human hearts. Leo's drawings, vivid with truth, taught me to see beyond illusions. Justice isn't won in boardrooms, but in quiet moments. Brenda's nod, Jax's grin. My journey, from Poison's haze to Gala's triumph, revealed ethics as my compass. Mark, Leo's father, lived for family. His memory pushed me to shield his son. The redwoods whisper of roots enduring storms mirrored my resolve. I chased ambition, but Leo's hand in mine was richer than wealth. The corporate storm, ruthless and coded, tested me, but allies, human, flawed, were my strength. Silicon Valley's pulse, once my god, paled beside Leo's laughter. My mother's voice, soft from Montana, urged me to sow trust. This fight, streamed globally, showed truth's power. Dorian's absence gnawed, but his pawns fell because I listened. Ethics, not greed, builds empires. The forest's rhythm, steady as time, urged healing. I'd protect Leo. Honor Mark, rebuild Zenith. Trust, forged in fire, was my lesson. I didn't know where Dorian hid, but I'd face him, rooted in truth. Leo's crayon hero, taped to my wall, watched over me. This ordeal, poison, betrayal, victory, carved a truth. Justice flows from hearing the meek. Leo's whispers, Brenda's grit, Jax's scars, were my guides. Zenith's towers, once my pride, meant nothing without them. My father's rivers, Montana's vast skies, taught me trust is earned, not assumed. Seraphina's deceit, Dorian's revenge, exposed the corporate world's rot. But ethics, unyielding as granite, prevailed. I recalled Mark's laughter, his trust in me to guard Leo. That duty, not Zenith's stock, defined me. The redwoods outside, ancient and wise, urge balance. Power with purpose. My journey, a YouTube blaze, inspired millions, but Leo's faith was my heart. Brenda's loyalty, Jax's resolve, rebuilt my world. The forest's roots, woven in Silicon Valley's earth, spoke of renewal. I'd failed to see Dorian's envy, but learned to cherish the small Leo's drawings, allies' courage. Trust, once a casualty, bloomed anew. Rooted in truth, I vowed to lead Zenith with integrity, to honor Mark's memory. Dorian's shadow loomed, but I was ready. The forest's pulse, eternal, whispered hope. This was my truth, my justice. Zenith's dawn broke over Silicon Valley, its towers gleaming. I stood in my office, Leo's drawings on my desk, a testament to truth. Victor, Eleanor, Seraphina, and Silas faced justice. But Dorian's shadow lingered. I launched Project Echo, a transparent data platform, mentoring Zenith's engineers to guard against deceit. Leo, now my constant shadow, inspired me. Keep fighting. Uncle Ethan, he said, his eyes bright. Brenda led staff reforms, her grit my foundation. Jax, my cybersecurity chief, fortified our systems. The redwoods outside, eternal, urged renewal. My role shifted, less titan, more guide, rooted in ethics. The corporate world, once my battlefield, became my canvas. YouTube's millions watched our saga, hungry for more. I vowed to chase Dorian. His Nevada bunker my next mark. Leo's laughter, pure as a river, hinted at future battles we'd face together. The forest pulse, woven in my soul, spoke of hope. Zenith thrived, trust reborn. But the journey wasn't done. I looked to the horizon, ready for what lay ahead. If you believe in truth, follow us. This fight, born in Silicon Valley's heart, is just beginning. The Redwoods whisper calls, join us, for justice endures. Project Echo grew, its open code uniting innovators. I mentored young coders, seeing Leo's spark in their eyes. My office, once a war room, hummed with purpose. Brenda, now operations lead, ensured Zenith's heartbeat true. Jax's defenses, coded like steel, kept Dorian's shadow at bay. The Redwoods' roots, deep in Silicon Valley's earth, mirrored my resolve. I reflected on Mark, Leo's father, whose trust in me fueled this path. His memory, warm as Montana's skies, guided my new role. The corporate storm had forged me. But Leo's faith, small, fierce, shaped my future. YouTube streams, a global roar, demanded more. I planned a Nevada expedition, Dorian's bunker my target. Leo's latest drawing, a hero's map, hinted at truths yet uncovered. The forest rhythm, steady as time, urged courage. Zenith's board, once fractured, rallied behind transparency. My journey, from poison to triumph, was a beacon. The fight wasn't over. Dorian's web stretched far. I embraced this mentorship, this chase, with open heart. If you seek justice, join our path. Silicon Valley's pulse beats on, and our story unfolds. The Redwoods' call follow, for truth's light burns bright. Leo's hand in mine, we walked Zenith's campus, his dreams vast as the sky. I become its guardian, mentoring a generation to code with conscience. Project Echo's launch, live-streamed, drew millions, its transparency a shield. Brenda's reforms rooted out disloyalty, Jax's tech blocked new threats. The Redwoods outside, wise and unbowed, whispered of legacy. Dorian's absence gnawed, but his defeat was near. I planned our Nevada strike, Leo's drawings my guide. His desert hero, vivid with hope, promised victory. The corporate world, once a viper's nest, bent to our will. Silicon Valley's elite, now allies, backed our mission. YouTube's saga, our viral truth, inspired a movement. My father's rivers, Mark's laughter, fueled my vow. Protect, rebuild, endure. The forest roots, eternal, urged me forward. Zenith stood tall, its future bright, but Dorian's shadow beckoned. Leo's trust, my North Star, lit the way. This journey, born in betrayal, ended in hope, but more awaited. If you stand for truth, follow us. Silicon Valley's heart, Zenith's soul, calls you. The Redwood's song of justice and fight lives on. Join us. This story is just beginning.